By 3 in the afternoon of day 2 of Carrera Habagat, Isang Linggo sa Santo Domingo, Team Kalit Cebu was paddling out of CP11 towards CP12 in Sula Port. Some 20 minutes later, Team Mero arrived at the technical section at CP14.
The wooden hearts, beaten and old, catch the tiny million fragments as it falls.
Back at CP11, Team Blood Red had just arrived, now running in 5th place.
Grabe. Nag-shortcut kami. Hindi kami dumaan dito sa kalsada eh. Kaya lang mabagal talaga yung isang teammate. Hindi makaabol. Wala naman so far. Everything is A-okay, mabagal lang.
Grabe, napakalayo na itong lugar na to. Hindi ko maisip na makarating ako. Kagabi, naligaw kami. Dumudugo ang aking mga kalamnan. Walang laman ang tiyan.
Still closely shadowing each other's moves, Team Mulato Davao arrived at CP14 30 minutes after the arrival of Team Mero. At the same time, Team Iligan Pride was arriving at CP12 after paddling for 2 hours. Worse for wear and steadily holding on to 3rd place, they purge out of CP12, still gunning for a podium finish. For those left behind at CP12 LP3 and the marshals patrolling the paddle areas, the wait was not yet over. Nighttime was fast approaching. Roughly 36 hours after the starting gun was fired in Santo Domingo, the race was clearly split in half between 5 lead teams and 5 slow teams. With a few more CPs to go, the challenges that the racing teams had to face were far from over.
Siraan yung drillos, yung pinya, yung crucial part.
Kadina?
A full moon had risen, but dark heavy clouds would cover it from time to time.
So yung 16 to 17 actually, there's an option. If you look at the map, you have this really not really big and not so wide na passage, which pwede ka mag-trek around that when going to CP17. Pero 16 is at the mouth of that passage, so you can swim it across. And we know that 90% sure kami na they would opt to swim. Ang problem namin doon na area, especially doon na area is pag they start crossing at night time and the current starts going out, medyo malakas yung current yan, tsaka plus the waves and the wind. So we have to make sure na yung support boat namin kailangan more or less nag-escort sa mga swimmers.
By 10:37 on the second night of Carrera Habagat, Isang Linggo sa Santo Domingo, Team Iligan Pride had arrived at CP16 LP4.
Magulag yan sa plastic.
Headlamps, blinkers, check! Headlamps, blinkers!
Lakaw na mo.
Fortunately, the tide was low, and instead of swimming, all they had to do was trek most of the way towards CP17 on Mamantao Island. However, they were not the first to arrive at CP16. Despite a broken bike chain and then a broken bike seat, Team Mulato Davao had checked in, still within minutes of Team Mero. As Iligan Pride crossed to CP17, Teams Mulato Davao and Mero were battling it out on the last paddle to the finish line at Black Sands Beach Resort.
Yes!
By 1:44, almost 42 hours after the starting gun was fired, Team Mulato Davao was the first team to cross the finish line of Carrera Habagat 2008, Isang Linggo sa Santo Domingo.
First back-to-back champion ever, ha?
Itambing na lang to sa mulikod eh.
Despite leaving CP19 around the same time as Team Mulato Davao, the rest of Team Merrill finally hit shore nearly 2 hours after, crossing the finish line in second place. What happened to Team Merrill on the home stretch? Stay tuned to find out.